Hello again, guys. I have decided to come back to you with a fourth dream journal video, this time talking about another nightmare I had at a young age involving the villain from a series of unfortunate events, Count Olaf. Now, as you probably know, Netflix's show based on these books will be released about a week from now, and I can't wait to watch and enjoy it. It's actually the main reason I'm making this video as well, so without further ado, here's the dream. I was sitting down on my knees with my hands tied behind my back in a tight knot. I couldn't see or hear anything at all. I moved my head around searching for light, but there was nothing. I took a deep breath and began to think. Where am I? I wondered. I pulled my wrists apart as hard as I could, struggling to break the rope binding them together, but it was no use. And when I heard footsteps approaching, I decided it was best to stop. The footsteps moved towards me, and a hand reached out from my face to pull the blindfold away from my eyes. I blinked, adjusted my eyes to the light, and looked up to see a man with a shiny hook where his right hand should have been. He turned around, dropped the blindfold, and walked away from me. I looked away from him and checked my surroundings. I was inside what looked like a barn. Light was flooding in from the cracks in the wooden walls and illuminating the whole area. There were no animals to be found, but there was hail over the floorboards. One thing I quickly noticed while I took all this in was that I was not the only person in the barn. There were other kids like me on their knees with their hands tied behind their backs and wearing blank expressions. I didn't recognize any of them. I heard a creaking noise coming from my left, so I turned to see the door of the barn open. I instantly recognized the man walking through that door. No one could mistake his Wolverine-style haircut and the tattoo of the eye on his ankle. It was Count Olaf, who stepped into the barn, letting the hook-handed man close the door behind him. He looked around the room at all the kids until his eyes fell on me. "Him first." He pointed at me. He stepped over to an area of the barn separated from the rest by a wall, as the hook-handed man grabbed me and lifted me up onto my feet. He led me over to where Count Olaf was standing and sat me down. "Leave," Count Olaf said to the hook-handed man. The man obliged and exited the room. "Now," Count Olaf stepped towards, looking down at me with an evil shine in his eyes. "Where is the fortune?" Of course, I had no idea what he was talking about. I didn't know of any fortune that Count Olaf cared about, except for the Baudelaire fortune. And I was pretty sure Olaf already knew where that was. I shrugged my shoulders, and he didn't seem very pleased with that. Count Olaf reached down, and with his bony fingers pried a piece of the floorboards off the ground. When he did this, the wood broke off in a way that one of the ends was incredibly sharp. Count Olaf pointed that end at me, and asked me again where the fortune was. I shrugged my shoulders again, and immediately realized that I shouldn't have. Olaf took that pointed end of the floorboard and thrust it down towards my chest. I woke up as it made contact, feeling an immense amount of pressure where it would have hit, and actually had to lie still for about a minute until its sensation finally went away. So, there's my fourth entry into my online dream journal. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as the other ones. And if you did, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like to hear more of these stories. I do enjoy telling them. I will say I have 2 more dreams lined up for the future videos. The first is going to be released around the inauguration day for President-elect Trump, and it's about a dream I had involving him. The second is going to be released later, and it's about a dream I had that inspired a book that I wrote. So stay tuned for those, and I'll catch you later.